All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah, Kwadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutes to all 144,000 elect out there. Ariel coming back at you with another lesson. This is going to be taken from Proverbs chapters 25, man. I'm going to land back off my previous video. Eat the whole roll. Now, this is talks about similitudes, instructions. Similitudes, instructions. Interesting word there, similitude. Now let's hit the precept I want to hit, because I'm going to make an effort to bring a balance to my yesterday's video. Proverbs 25:16 says, "Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thee be filled with throweth and vomit it. I'm pronouncing that word right. We're going to look into the word anyway. So that's the balance, man. Yesterday's video. Eat honey, yeah, or eat the whole roll. And it's talking about to bring the balance. Like I say, Ezekiel was instructed to eat the whole roll, as was Jeremiah, as was John the Revelator, and for the most part, all of the prophets. Yeah, but it's just about finding a balance, man. Because I want to put out a balance out there, as well as studying to show ourselves approved. Most High is about balance. I want to put the balance out there, like I always like to do. So let's get, why am I putting out the balance? Contrast the upright and the wicked. It says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So study to show yourself approved. At the same time, you got to still know yourself. Right? When he's talking about the honey, getting back to the Proverbs 25:16, when he's talking about the honey, it's a similitude. Now, I had to look up the word similitude. Meaning. Similitude meaning says the quality or state of being similar to something. Resemblance, similarity, likeness. There you go. Resemblance, similarity. A similitude, making a comparison that is similar to something. And he's talking about, hast thou found honey? Yeah, so with the similarities, we're talking about the honey there. Right? This is not our medical advice, because it's a similitude, or something that is symbolic as far as the studying or eating the whole roll. Ezekiel had to eat the whole roll, but it was bitter in his belly. Also, it was sweet, but the aftertaste was bitter. But he had to eat the whole roll. We're making a comparison with the roll, which the roll represents the Bible today, and taking it in, eating it. But if you eat up too much of it, whether it be honey, the similarity, whether it be honey, or whether it be studying, eating too much of it, you're going to end up vomiting it out. That's the similarity, that's the comparison we're making in order for putting out the balance of doing that video, because people may see the idea, get the idea studying. Yeah, that's what they do in the colleges, these high learned colleges, these masters and masterminds, study masterminds, and a lot of them, when you hear about the year that comes around, I used to hear it, you don't hear about it so much now. People that have to study and get their degrees and all their kind of alphabet degrees, they get depressed. They get too worried, they get depressed, they get way down with the studying, and they start to resent it. And some of them, it's in the it was in the news that some of them used to take their own lives. Yeah, the students, because it was too much for them. They used to take their own lives when the year of taking their exams come around. Too much worries, too much stress upon them. They put too much on themselves, too much on their plate, and they couldn't eat it up. So getting back to this, making that comparison, when you're studying, eat as much as you can to the best of what you know yourself. You got to know yourself and do it in how what's benefited to you. Everybody has their own schedule, their own calendar, what's suitable to them. You know, Abaratazar, and as we're learning about the spirit of the Lord, learning about ourselves, learning to, as one of the elders said, learning to work on our strengths, work on your strengths and what the Most High gave you. Work on your strength and what the Most High gave you. So that's the best that I can really put it, the best way I can put it. Work on your strengths and what the Most High gave you, and let Him work on all the other bits and pieces. At the same time, He's going to do that. You're going to grow in the spirit. You're going to be quickened in the spirit. But don't eat too much. Don't overdo it. Don't try and keep up too much with somebody else. Everybody has their own lot. Everybody has their own gift. What the Most High gave them, their own gifts. You know. And also remember, the race is not for the swift, but who can endure it. So I want to get into something, a couple of words like I like to do. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is His delight. Just a couple of words there. Abomination. So H844 and 1. 44 and 1, there's some good number there. Abomination. So false balance is a disgusting thing. See, if you don't have the balance right, the scales balance on an even keel, you become uneven in this truth, man. You know, and that means don't do too less, because that would be an abomination. But don't do too much for you at the same time. Yeah, an abomination, a disgusting thing to the Lord, an unclean thing. There you have it. It's not good, in other words, if you've not got the balance right. That's all I want. Oh, but a just weight is His delight. Here we have it. H7522. A just weight is what? A just weight is what? Pleasure, delight, favor, goodwill, acceptable to the Most High, acceptable, and acceptance, pleasure, right? So a just weight is a pleasure. That's all I want there. This ain't no deep, complicated thing. I'm trying to do it as simple as possible to get the idea out there of brothers not overbearing themselves. Being overbearing with yourself leads to sadness and depression. And putting too much on your pushing too much weight ain't good for you. Let me just say that. Some people, you go in the gym and they want to keep up with other people. They take on too much for themselves, and it's not their lot to do that, right? And actually, as far as pushing weights, as far as I know, if you want to use an example, you got a lot of strong men. I use an example of Bruce Lee. Back in the day, you know, he was a a formidable foe. He was a strong man, and as far as in the martial arts, the Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepted fist, in comparison with a lot of guys his size, he was a strong man, and he never dealt with heavyweights. He never dealt with heavyweights. Yeah, you can do the research for yourself. He dealt with isometrics, which is not heavy weights. It's just resistance training. So when you train, it's different to train for being a bodybuilder and being a martial artist. It's different, totally different approach, different kind of exercises. If you want explosive power, I'm saying that to make a point. If you want explosive power, you don't deal with heavy weights. Most bodybuilders know that, and most martial artists know that. You train differently. So you don't try and, if you want to be a martial artist, you don't train with heavyweights. You use what is sufficient for you, right? So let's get into this. That's all I wanted to make that point. It's that quick point there. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for you, lest ye be filled therewith and vomit it. Filled, I want to see something here, and vomit it out. Right? Sufficient, the word sufficient. So be filled therewith and vomit it. One word. Eat so much as is sufficient for you, for thee. 1767. The word, that's it. See, it's not complicated, it's not rocket science. Sufficient, enough. Right? Enough. Same way when you go into the, you got these, we call these things the buffet nowadays, buffet restaurants. People go crazy with that, and they they yam too much. And most of those buffets, I'll just say that too. Most of those buffets, I used to, maybe I've been once or twice, but it's not my thing anyway. But it's pure rubbish food that I give you anyway, because it's all, you eat as much as you like, and it's bad for you anyway. Most people end up vomiting it out anyway, because it's all abominable food and bad for you. Because that's the idea. You don't give you quality. And there's another thing as well. They use anyway. I'll just say that's all I need to say about that. So there you have it, man. Sufficient enough. That's all. Don't need to say much more about that. Just putting the balance out there, Akim. Just putting out the balance out there. Yeah. 16. I'll read it again. As a matter of fact, let's just try one more thing in some of these translations, and then we go end of the video. Have thou found honey? Eat only as much as you need, lest ye be filled with it and vomit it. Do you like honey? And that's just common sense too, I better not say that, because common sense ain't common for everybody. But do you like honey? Don't eat too much, or it will make you sick. If you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it, and you will vomit it. That's enough. That's enough said, man. Too much of anything. There's an old saying among the Benjamites. Them. Too much of anything, no good for you. Good for nothing. Too much of anything, good for nothing. So just to bring the balance of the video, I'm backing off the video I put out there yesterday. Eat the whole roll. And that is true. You eat the whole roll, you take it in, and if necessary, you may have to do it in bite sizes. I think that's the best way to put it. Do it if you need to do it in bite sizes. When as far as eating the whole roll, Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 3, as far as eating the whole roll, you may have to do it in bite sizes to bring the balance, because a false balance. Yeah, a fool's balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Right? That's the point of that. Yeah? Find that balance about that. Find that perfect balance, because you don't want to vomit. Vomit it all out again, because it don't stay there. You can't process too much at one time. Yeah? You can't eat too much of one thing, good for nothing. You can't process too much, right? And brothers will have their own schedule, their own timetable. You may not be able to process, as far as taking it in and digesting it, all at one time. And everybody's different. So the word at your Bashim Shaf putting the spirit on me to do this video. Shalom, we on to the next.